for a video, I might as well do this bit live. I'll stick it in my camera holder a minute. Oops, missed. Okay, I'll try to do this. Right, so I'm soaking this in acetone, just in the vapor, just to get it soft. I'll take it out of there a minute, because I just want it to be soft-ish. Oh, it stinks. Oh, makes your eyes stink. Put the lid back on quickly. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just glazing it over to make the pieces easy to go together. So what I've got to do is, okay, first of all, make sure it's not stuck to anything, because I need to acetone it again after I put this together. So what I'm doing right now, getting my elastic bands. I need some. I think that's enough there. I don't know if they're going to be big enough, but let's find out. That probably isn't. But these are a bit small. Let's find some bigger ones. I'll just basically find them as I go, really, because I just want to get a few of these on ready. I think some of these will be handy. So I've got my ABS plastic stuck in the syringe, and what I need to do, first of all, make sure that this new section will plug in. Yeah, it does. Good. Make sure that end goes there. Yeah, it does. Make sure this one fits that one. Yeah, that must be the type. That must be the new one. I've just done this one. Right. And that one. Just they plug in like Lego. Don't know if you can see me very well. Yeah, I think you can. So what I've got to do is make sure that these are really snug fit before I put the stuff on, because I don't want to have a mess on my hands. Right, so this one is pretty tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the female side, which is that side. So I'm going to treat the female side. So I'm going to put my ABS plastic on in these holes like this. Right, I'm going to put my thing there. I'm going to get my squirty thingy, squirt that all over there, get that pushed in really tight so it squeezes out into the gaps, so you can see it oozing out the crack there. Make sure that's really tight. Do the other female side, which is, oops, I've lost my needle now. Put that in there, put this in the female holes, because it squeezes out more evenly. Acetone it to make it a little bit more liquid. I've got to do this female as well. This is a tricky one. So I'm squirting the acetone to make sure it doesn't dry too quick. I don't want it getting a skin on it. So doing the last one is a tricky one. So squirt acetone on it. Squirt more acetone on this one. Right, now, because I'm only doing one side, you see, because the plastic will ooze out everywhere. Squeeze that into there. Squeeze this one into there. Now I can really put pressure on it, because they're all three pieces now. Look, you can see the surplus squeezing out. It's on my finger. Ouch! I've just pricked myself. Right, now, while this is all nice and soft, I have to get these elastic bands on here. Put a load of elastic bands around it, because it's got to be really tight. The more the better, because it holds it all together. Squeezes out the surplus plastic, as you can see. Look, it's coming out. Squeeze it as tight as possible with my hand, because I don't want this thing flying apart on me. I'm really giving it all I've got. Look at that coming out. So this has got to be really, 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 really strong. More elastic bands. Right, I've got loads of elastic bands on here, which is putting a lot of pressure on that. So now I've done that, you can see all the plastic, the ABS plastic is squeezing out. Look, there's no way that this thing's going to fly apart when this dries out. It's going to be really well. I'm just rubbing it with my finger to wipe up any surplus. I'm going to leave that for, I'll trim it off with a knife later because it's on the inside. I'm just going to leave it, because the reason for leaving that some of it on is because it shrinks a little bit, and as it shrinks it will pull in a bit, so I don't want to have any voids. Right, I'm wiggling this one because I want to see more squeezing out of this one on this end. I've got some on my hand, but yeah, that's good enough. It's fine. I can see where there's no gap there. I just got the right amount in that one. Now I've done that, I want to make sure there's no edges, so I'm going to push it that way a bit and that way a bit. Get this lined up right, because this wants to be perfectly balanced. I want my 6mm drill, which that isn't it. That's a 5mm drill. Stick it on there a minute. I'm getting this plastic all over my hands, but I'm not worried. Uh, 6mm drill. The reason I'm getting a 6mm drill, you see, I did forget to put the ABS plastic between this middle section, but that doesn't matter because that hole's clear anyway. I want to make sure this middle section, there's little torque on this middle section, there's very little. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squirt some acetone into this hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger on the bottom to block the hole up, fill it up with acetone like this, and you can see it leaks, the acetone's leaking out the cracks. So the reason for that is I want it to make that plastic expand and close that gap, and it'll pull itself in the middle, and it's doing that. It's sticky. Right. I'm just swirling it around. There's a bit of acetone going around the inside of there, so I'm just swirling it around a bit. So I'm going to take some of that plastic that's oozed out actually, and I'm going to just go around the inside of that hole to fill in any gaps. The hole is fine. It'll seal itself once I've it's only for the drive shaft. Once I put this in I'm putting this in the vapor bath again, the vapor thing. So what I'm going to do now is not my phone. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back in the vapor chamber to let this finish softening up, and obviously I've got to watch out my elastic bands don't pull the middle walls in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the elastic bands down to the strongest part, which is near the bottom, like this, because I don't want to collapse the walls, because they will get soft in the vapor. I certainly don't want the thing to just collapse inwards on the middle. So that's the strong part at the bottom. So elastic bands are all the way around the base, and there's a lot of pressure holding that together now. So I need to put it back in there. I'm going to leave it for another, well, half an hour. And that should finish it off. I'll stick it on that other one. This is still saturated with acetone as well. God, it stinks. Right, so I'm just going to leave that for about half an hour, and then I'll take it out and check it to make sure that that there's no gaps anywhere. because I tell you, once that sticks together, I'll never get it apart, because I know that, because I've stuck other things together with ABS, with acetone, and I had to use a hacksaw to get them apart. It was just impossible to pull them apart or anything, because it was just one piece again. Just getting this plastic on my hands now. Luckily I've got hand cream on, so it doesn't stick so well. Except for my finger ends. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use some acetone to clean my hands. My needle's stuck. There we go. I've got it on my fingers and hand cream's washed off. It's good for like a barrier cream thing. Nothing worse than plastic. Irritates you. And it dries your hands up really bad, does that acetone, so I'm going to put some of this cream on. Otherwise my hands get really dry, and it's it causes it rapid aging, so we should be good. It's always a good thing to actually use some moisturising stuff when you're using acetone, because it really is horrible when it dries your skin. It feels like your skin is going to crack, you know. I'll tell you one thing, if you get a cut, bite, now burn. Another thing, if you put it on after you've when you've still got some plastic on your hands, it just peels off after that. It just gets something that sucks into the skin and nothing sticks to it after that. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show you me putting this thing together. So I've got to wait a while. I've got to keep an eye on it, because I don't want it to get a waistline. I don't want it to get a waistline. What I can do, actually, what I think I'll do is I'll give this 10 minutes like this with the elastic bands on, and then I'm going to take the elastic bands off, because it will have pulled it in as much as it's going to pull it in by after 10 minutes, and because I just don't want to have any indentations where the rubber bands are, which is probably what will happen if I don't take them off. So I'll just wait 10 minutes and then actually I'm going to take them off now, because I can see some, yeah, I'm going to take them off now. I can already see some a waistline starting to form. When I say waistline, I mean it's starting to pull the squeezed plastic out. Get on, you bugger. Yeah. God. Yeah, that's long enough for the elastic bands, I think. Yeah, there was I could see a line, unless I was imagining it. Yeah, they will be pulled together enough now anyway. It's definitely closed in, Lars. Yeah, I'm holding this up to the light, and I can't see light directly through there. There's plastic all in them cracks, which means that it's going to pull itself in now anyway. If I shine a torch on the back, you can see that there's a line of plastic between every crack. You can see that the plastic has filled the gap now, and that will shrink and pull everything together. And if there is a crack afterwards, it's not a big deal to fill it in with a syringe again, but I want to go around it and spray it a bit more and put it back in here, just to give it that wet look. I'm just going to spray, just shine up the outside a bit. My hand's slippery now. So I'm just wetting the outside to make sure it's going to fully bond. Right, like that. Stick it back in the container. And I'm going to give it another squirt while it's in the container. Where's the straw in this thing? Can't find the pipe. Oh, there you are. I'm shining it up with this. Right, that's really glossed it over. I'll put the lid on now. I'm just going to leave that for about an hour now. I'm going to go up to an hour now because I was worried about the elastic bands, which is why I said 30 minutes, but I don't think I need them anymore. I think the plastic itself is going to shrink and pull it together now. It'll tighten itself up. Right. Okay, end of video, I think. Let's just get this camera out of here. Where's my buttons? I don't want to press the buttons. I'll give you a... I'll just flip this over a minute. Oh, it's upside down. I'll just give you a quick look. You see how shiny it is. Right, put the lid back on because it really stinks. Just let that dry now. Ah, it's upside down still. Why is it? Oh, right, here we go. Okay, so that's it for now. Oh yeah, I haven't modelled the coil holder yet for holding the coil. I'm still thinking about the best way of doing that. You know, it's not a big job, it's just I want to do it right. So that's it for now.